So the motor nerve right here, the motor nerve controls the muscles. And if there's any pressure on the nerves, we're going to have weakness, muscle spasms, tightness. It's gonna cause the muscle not to function properly, and we'll know it by the different gauges, which I'm going to show you. Okay, the autonomic part, the other large part, controls your sinuses. It goes to all the organs. It runs your stomach. It runs your heart, breathing, all that. So when there's pressure on the nerve there, a subluxation, that's interfering with the function of the autonomic. So now here's what would happen when I say to somebody, if I pinch the nerve, say I got the motor nerve and I have a pair of pliers and pinching it going to your bicep, what do you think will happen? Everybody goes, "Oh, it'll hurt." No, it'll cause it to be weak. It'll cause the function of the muscle not to be functioning properly like it should. You have no muscle tone, or you have too tight. If we cut that nerve, what happens? The muscle don't work at all. So what happens is when there's pressure on the nerve, it's not about pain, it's not about feeling, it's about function. Same thing with the nerve going to your lungs. If I pinch the nerve going to your lungs, what would happen? All of a sudden they start to say, my nerves, my lung wouldn't function properly. Right? You could have bronchitis, be susceptible to colds and flus and all that. So then the last part, I go, okay, now the sensory nerve is the smallest part, and that controls posture, temperature, and pain. So pain is the smallest part of this whole picture. And then, so feeling good does not equal good health. Good health equals healthy function. All right. So we can see this formula right there
It's
saying.
fair for us to be set up that way.
Pardon?
It hardly seems fair for us to be set up that way.
Exactly. Very good point. And so look, so nerve pressure can't exist without pain. Let me ask you a question, both of you. By the time you have the symptom, what did they say? It's too early or too late?
Late.
Too late. Right. So that's why we don't have health care, we have sick care. Okay? People wait till they get sick to get care. That's not a good thing. All right? So now, you've never seen this poster, so what do you think a patient's going to think? Oh, this is just a chiropractic thing. I never heard this theory before. You just want me to make sure that you're trying to sell me something. So now we go to the next poster, and it's going to be this one here: choice versus chance. Choice versus chance. You've had chemical, physical, emotional stress on your health and well-being over time from birth, and from birth you start to get misalignments, degeneration, and disease. And look at here, the most dangerous symptom of all is no symptom. Why? Because you base your health on that 10% and miss the 90%. Let me tell you, heart disease, the number one killer. Guess what? 60% of the first symptom of heart disease is death. 60%. No warning. Just boom, drop over. High blood pressure, silent killer. Diabetes, silent killer. So all these different diseases you don't know, don't delay, so get tested. And so what happens is basing your health on pain is like brushing your teeth only when they hurt. It doesn't make sense. Okay? Your spines are bones and you need to keep them healthy. So you can take you have a choice on preventing things from happening if you know that you can't base your health on pain. So let me ask you a question. If you don't feel 90% of what's going on, how do you know if it's working or not?
Dr. Andrea's new tool that she's going to show us.
Very good answer. Very good answer. That's right. So what happens is this: she's gonna have the technology, and I helped develop it because I was a kind. Well, you just poke, pop, and pray and tell me keep coming. Why can't you show me anything? It's like giving me working out, or you work. I'm your trainer, Megan. You go, how am I doing? Ah, you looking good. Keep it up. No, Megan's like, no. Were my hips 24? Are they 21? Was my BMI this? Is it this now? So I need to know. So we're not going to guess anymore. We're going to gauge how well that 90% is working. You can't feel, and we're not going to guess. We're not going to poke, pop, and pray. So we're gonna check the 90% you can't feel. It's either gonna be underactive, it's gonna be normal, mild severe, moderate severe, or severe pressure, or black off the chart. It's gonna be a functional gauge of the nervous system to see how well that 90% is working. Okay, so let me ask you this question: if you can't feel 90%, and let me get this one back up too. If you can't feel 90% of what's happening, how do you know if this 90% is working if you can't feel it? You don't, right? You don't. You can't. So, guess what? That's why we're going to engage at 90%. Now, too, since you can't feel 90%, with a scan probably going to look worse or better than you feel. Probably worse, right? Because you can't feel everything that's going on. Plus, you're going to be able to see, it's like a Doppler radar. They might come in for low back pain and say, wow, um, you know what? I can't, why is it up in my neck? Why I got the bad readings in my neck? Well, your whole spine is one system. And when the foundation's off, you're going to see areas where you don't know that's coming. So this is going to be a very powerful tool to give them the why behind it and also give you the why behind it. Okay. Tell me, each one of you, what out of the three, this one or the choice or the gauge, what do you like the best, and tell me why.
What do I like the best
Yeah,
in
which
terms
one
of
of
what?
the posters you like the best that made you go,
Oh,
oh, yeah,
good. The feeling versus function. I mean, I didn't know that a nerve would be made up of all three of those things. I thought they were just one thing. So that's already a huge. And I think because I'm so visual, being able to explain this to new patients before Dr. Andrea comes in, especially those people that aren't there because they're in so much pain, they're here to get a checkup. It's interesting to share that information because. But how
right.
do we prove that this system, this machine that I assume is going to be telling us that? I have so many questions about it, so I won't even start.
No, we'll work on that because don't worry, we'll work on that. I just want to get to the concept behind it. Okay. Next, what did you think, Kian? Miss K? I'll just go ahead, Miss K.
Yeah, so for me as well, the one feeling was dysfunction, this explaining to patients that it's more than just so much more than just feeling pain. I like that.
Okay. All right. And you see, you're right, Megan. What you guys do is you support what Doc says. If you don't understand why she's saying things, then it's like anything else. The patient gets confused. And so, guess what? The tooth is 90% enamel, 10% nerve. You can have 75% of your tooth rotten and not know it, eat a soft roll, and your tooth breaks off. You go, why, how'd that happen? Well, guess what? It was decaying all the time, and until it got to a point where it broke and you didn't know it. And boy, when you hit that nerve, you finally know it. So again, this is a huge, huge, huge thing because pain's the last thing to come and the first thing to go. Okay, now the next thing is, okay, how do we get that way? Um, did you have implement the stress test, right, or not?
No, because I don't know how to do that. We were looking at it on the weekend when we had a talk, like when we had a meeting, trying to figure out, is this something we give them at the beginning? Is this something they take home and bring back for the ROF?
Here's how they do. When they come in for their RRF, ladies, you give them this test and say there's only one piece of paper to fill out today. Because usually they're inundated and they're filling a bunch of crap out the first day, blah, blah, blah. And you go, okay, now there's three things that's so important. Um, so basically, please circle any you've experienced, no matter how mild or severe your exposure may have been. Also, the number of times, many, too few or many, and you may circle as many apply. So you can mark all three childhood, like for instance, slips and falls. You might mark, I fell off a horse, when I was 10 years old riding. I was in an accident. I slipped and fell, cheerleading, and then I fell, whatever. So you may mark all three, and then they may explain what's going on. So It's very important because all Doc's going to do is come up. I wish you guys would, I'm sure to remember, I would have had you guys take this. Um, but let's do the real easy way. When you look at the physical traumas, accidents, sports, repetitive stuff, emotional stress, family, career, holding temperatures, perfectionist procrastination, your diet, and all that, even though you don't remember in a child, when did either emotional stress or physical stress start in your childhood years? Give me a rough age.
They're really distracting me badly. A rough age when this stuff starts?
When
Emotional stress? Oh Christ, that could start pretty young,
right, like
depending on
family,
what the relationship in the family is, yeah.
yeah, like divorce and stuff. So, at what age, Megan, would you say? And not realizing it until you just kind of look and just roughly. It's not a particular,
Eight,
7 or 8, yeah.
Okay, 7 or 8. All right, Miss K. What about you?
8,
Okay, now when did both of you start getting adjusted and been adjusted on a regular basis up until now?
Last year.
Okay, no problem. Last year. What about you, Miss K?
37,
Huh? Why can't I hear her that well then?
37.
37?
She's got an accent.
4 years ago.
Pardon?
4 years.
4 years ago. Okay. Now, here's how you get your stress number. Megan, how old are you?
37.
Okay, you said, say easy math, started at 7, and then 30 years later, you said you've been adjusted for a year now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you subtract the age when you came in, so say 36 from 37, and so, 7. So almost 30 years you've been building up different stresses for 30 some years, and then you come in and start getting adjusted. Okay, 4 years ago, how old were you, Miss K?
36.
36? Okay, so both almost 30 years. So now what happens is we're going to plot that on this W theory, and here's what happens. People don't realize it when they see this, they really go like, "Oh my gosh." So let me do this. Boom, boom, boom. No, fart. It's the wrong one. Hold on a minute. Um. So what the heck? Okay. Boy, I'm a real good guy here today. Where is 1, 2, 3? Oh, here it is. All right. So health's a journey. So you guys would say both around 7, the stress began. You had no health concerns. You're a 7-year-old. You had a subluxation misalignment over time as there's no symptoms, and then maybe in your teenage years you start having some small concerns. Maybe you had different issues, and you did drugs, exercise, PT, massage, chiropractic, once in a great while, surgery or nothing. When people come in, we would have them say, okay, so your current age is 36 now, say 37, and it started at 7, so 30 years. So your scan's gonna show you 30 years of stress has built up over 30 years. Okay? Now, let me ask you a question. Here's how the whole process happens is that when you have 30 years, the average person has 20 to 25 years of stress, and all they've done is taken pills, potions, and lotions. When someone comes in, this is what's going to happen. The first 24 visits, first couple months, they're going to have some ups and downs because they've been locked in, and these changes we're going to see in the exams and re-exams are going to show they're responding to care. We're going to address the cause rather than covering up the symptom and restoring your health process. So there'll be some ups and downs, but the pain goes away in the very first part of care. What happens when people get out of pain? They want to get out of what? The office, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. So, what happens is this 30 years of creating these patterns, you start to get adjusted, and your body goes like boom, up and down, and then it settles down. And once we stabilize that joint that we kind of broke the unhealthy 30 years of pattern, and we start to build a healthier pattern, we're gonna correct it. But here's a hinging point, very very important to listen to. When you get any of you two got braces on your teeth when you're younger? Okay, good, both of you. So the very first part, when you had them on, they really hurt, right? Okay, when they stopped hurting, that's when the teeth started to correct. So what happens is you need to tell people, just like when you have braces, the first part of care, even though you don't do the cracking, you do very low force with the instrumentation, that you're going to feel you're gonna go through some, like, just like wearing braces. But when the pain's gone, get this now, write this down. When the pain's gone, that's where 75% of the healing takes place.
What takes place?
Healing. Healing. So it feels better, but it's not necessarily healed, and that's a good
Right.
point.
Right. And so, Megan, what do they think? You just want me to keep coming just to keep coming. Okay. Did you buy? I know you've done this. You just had to wear those pumps and get those special shoes. They hurt, but you wore them. When they wore a blister, by the end of the day, your blister's killing you. When you finally take the shoe off, get the irritation off, oh, feels good, but does the blister disappear?
No.
No. 30 years of that damage of trying to compensate and causing, irritation to that area, we finally, it's like getting the shoe off, and all of a sudden, boom, guess what? Now we need to keep the shoe off, because if we don't, it comes right back, and it comes back with a vengeance. So people will do that. They'll leave. If they don't understand the big idea, guess what? They leave, and then all of a sudden they say, hey, listen, it's coming back. All right. So now, once the pain's gone and we keep them corrective, we say, all right, great. You're now on the way to wellness. We're correcting the problem. Once we correct it, guess what? Just like the braces, wellness care is like a retainer. We sustain and retain this healing process. Okay. Now, so here's the big thing, how you really get the big idea to them. Let me ask you this three questions, real important. Number one, um, remember when you just got massage or took some pills, or kind of not really dealt with it, and now you're very seriously, now you guys came in and started getting adjusted because you're probably working, maybe, I don't know. But now you're serious and you have high priority because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Want you to know that if once we break the pattern of 30 years and build a healthier pattern, once you start to feel no pain and things are going great and no concerns, if you start thinking here like you did over here, what's going to end up? Are you going to end up back down here because you stopped care? Yeah, it's just like working out or eating. Like, hey, I lost weight, I feel good, I've been working out at the gym. Okay, I'm done. No, guess what? The body has a memory, and it's going to slide back down. You're going to lose. Well, here's the thing. Let's look at the retainer. My daughter wore the retainer, but when she had it off, she's 44 now. She had to have a little piece of retainer cemented because it started shifting. So really, wellness care coming in on a regular basis, not 3 times a week, but I don't know whether it's a couple times a month, is nothing at all to keep this corrected. Because guess what? We have stress all the time. So, and stress changes when you're adult. It's relationships and different things. So basically, if you know this, you can say, "Hey, listen, you got to keep up with your appointments. You don't want to lose ground. We're gaining ground, and once we have wellness care and they come in, guess what? They'll never come back to the zone again. They'll just keep going." Number two, if So any of you married or are you getting married, right? Okay, and good. Now, here's what we'd say. And you have kids, Ms. K?
Yes,
Okay,
two,
two. How old are they?
8 and 11.
8 and 11, all sweet. Now I have 7 grandkids. They were all over last night. It was loud, no, but it's fun. Okay, so I watch how powerful this is. Now, watch the difference. If I said, Miss K, I want your kids to come in and get checked. You just want more money. No. Miss K, let me ask you a question. Are you gonna leave that husband and that 8 and 11-year-old home for 30 more years, like you did before they come in and get checked? No. You see, before, because they're not feeling everything. If there's any problems, they don't have to get as much care and it'd be much quicker and they can move right across from here. But if it took you, Miss K, 30 years to get to this point and we see all the stuff that's going on, how long is it going to take us to break the pattern and build a healthy pattern? Either one of you, if it took 30 years before you finally start getting adjusted, how long is it going to take us to break the pattern and get you healthy and up here to wellness? What would you say? Just use common sense.
Sometime.
Here?
Now, so did you see how long time, year, how long? So it went from an event to a process, okay? That we need to tell them why. Why, when we don't establish the longevity of how long they've not dealt with it, we're going to take, and we got to show them that, listen, it's your fault that you're so many years not dealing with it. Now you're finally going to get it corrected. So write this down. We not only going to correct your problem, we want you to, or get you well, sorry. We don't only get you well, we want to keep you well. Same thing with a diet. You don't want the person to do good and lose all that and then go right back. We don't want, it's a waste of their money and time. Okay, what did you like about this? Showing the years of stress and how long it's going to break and then take to get back up. That's the whole process. I mean, both of you have said it made common sense. I didn't talk you into it. You're like a long time, a year. Yeah, but then when you give them a plan, the plan's not going to seem so bad after they've had 30 years of not taking care of it. So both give me your opinion on what you like about this that you learned that made you understand it better.
I like the idea of when pain disappears, that's when the healing process actually takes place. When I think I would have understood it as the moment that the pain is gone, the healing's already started to happen. But if that's a good chunk of time when that starts to happen, because I am someone who, knock on wood, lucky enough, I'm not typically in so much pain that it's debilitating or even that bad. This will be a great connection with my patients that are kind of similar in a sense of where they're not always in severe pain, but you know what I mean? Like I think that's a really great point to connect for me with patients. And the point about me saying I feel like it would take me a year to, I mean, maybe I don't know. Like and Dr. I don't know what your opinion is on all of that, but again, I'm not someone who is in severe pain. But then again, you've been treating for a year and a half, and eliminated that next step of being in severe pain because I'm getting treated. So I
Right. It's you don't know what you're missing and not having by being treated. But the problem is also let's not just focus on pain. Um, when I'm talking about feeling about energy, sleep, all that stuff like that. That's what's very important. Okay. So I want you to um, put your hand out, point your finger to Miss K. Miss K, grab her hand, and take her finger. Okay, go on. Right now, yeah. So Megan, put your hand out like this, and she's gonna grab your hand, and she's gonna take your finger. Okay, you got it. Okay, and very nicely, slowly, very gentle, just turn it. Now, turn in a circle. Now, there's no problem if everything's nice and moving easy. Okay, stop it. Now, torque it a little, twist it just a little, not a lot to hurt her, and keep it twisted, and now move it. Okay, all right, can you feel the difference? That's what a misalignment does. When the bones don't move properly, motion is life, stillness is death. So there's areas that are not moving properly that are actually causing that wear and tear and what we call degeneration, subluxation degeneration. Okay? All right. Ms. K, what did you like about the W?
Was feeling safe as well. Because
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Speak up a little, please.
wellness care is like a retainer because I do use the braces analogy quite a bit when I speak to them, to the patients. So I really like that touch. And then also bringing them the why it is so necessary to be looking at that. I mean,
right.
it's a common sales technique as well. You need to show them that there is a need, and then they will understand it because people are just silly like that.
No, right. No. Here's a powerful statement. No, no why, no comply. If they don't know the why, they don't comply. Okay? So now what I just did was I showed you the actual, like chiropractic, what we want you to do chiropractically. Here's the flip side, okay? Now, health is a journey. So, we have 3 choices here. Choice 1, so say I'm talking to you, Ms. K. 30 years, okay, you're at this point, you talk about you want to start care, and you go, no care, continual decline in your health. All right? Now, choice 2, you come in, and as soon as here it says feel good, you quit. Guess what? You continue back down. You come in when it feels good. You leave when it's bad. You're just addressing the symptom. Okay. Choice three is chiropractic care. Is the W we just went over. Not just getting adjusted, but chiropractic care plus exercise, nutrition, rest, and water. Okay. This is what we just went over. So the people do things to avoid pain and gain pleasure. So if they know the big picture and they stay with care, they're going to be on a healthy journey. Because I asked them, choice 1 and 2, no care, just decline, come in whenever it hurts, and then leave and come back and leave. Choice 2 is going towards unhealthy. But here's the biggest thing. Right here, there's no middle road. There's no middle road. Every day you're either adding to your health or you're taking away from your health. There's no middle road. Okay? All right, good. Okay, let's move on. So the next thing is this. We have, let me go to there, boom. All right. So, the
So we have 5, 6 more minutes. We have patients right at 2. Right at 2.
Okay, all right, I'll hurry. So I did write something. I'll send it to you, Doc. Did you end up right? I wrote the 4 things right here. You see, I'll just explain this real quick. I sent you my book, Health is a Journey, right? You should have them read that.
You don't have the, I have the PDF.
PDF, okay. And we maybe can go over that another time, but have them read it. The test doesn't hurt. It just takes information from there. We do this because the x-ray shows stress to the bone. This will show stress to the nerve. It doesn't matter about the bones. It matters how much pressure is applied to the nerves, okay? And then why is it important? If you guys just touch the back of your hand with your finger very lightly, just touch it very lightly. Okay? Touch the back of your hand, okay, very lightly with your finger. The weight of a dime, that's how much pressure it only takes to cause 60% on blockage to the nerve. So, if we take, it says here, just the weight of a dime can cause 60% nerve dysfunction. So the slightest amount of pressure can cause, a lot of problems. Then how will it benefit me? Why am I pain-free? Why do I have to come back if I'm pain-free? How do I know I'm getting the right amount of adjustments? Well, you can say, we don't guess, we're going to gauge. As you can see, we worked with John Hopkins. Watch this real quick. This here, the all white is normal. It's a normal pattern. We see initially all these different problems, and then we'll be able to tell people, look at the re-exam. We have actual, we can show you difference that you're getting better. And then this one here, when you start to print them out, it shows the pull from side to side. This is the one I developed here. You can see that there's not many colors, but you see longer bars, shorter. When we compare side to side, this person has a lot of low back issues. The spine is actually curved that way, and we're actually able to see that. And then we'll do the heart rate variability. So it'll be very, very good to get that going. And we'll have to work more on that, you know. Yeah, so I don't want to take a lot of time. And
Yeah,
it,
because let us do the test first. Maybe I'll have them do it tomorrow so they have an understanding of what we're actually talking about.
right. So then last thing, I'll hurry up, and I won't go all the way to the very end. But when we look at um, health as a journey, so I want you to take the stress test, okay? And the book Health as a Journey basically is going to be something that you're going to like because it's actually going to show. Oh, come on, boom, boom, boom. It's actually, let me see here. It should be right here. It's a nice simple test. I mean, the book that's real simple. I don't like a lot of writing and stuff. I like something short and simple. So the book's going to be something that you're going to give to the patient to take home and read. But you're going to see not only are you going to see a lot when you do the stress test, but you know what? In fact, instead of going over that, I'm going to tell you one last story, and then we'll quit so you guys don't be late. All right, I'm in Canada, over in Toronto, north of Toronto, and a lady comes in. She wants to leave. She's like, you know what? I'm really upset. I'm getting worse. I've been coming here a while, and I'm getting worse. So, anyways, they make her take the stress test, do the scans. Here she says her job is stressful. So everyone wants to blame you guys, the first one that, well, I'm not getting better. Number one, they either didn't stay with their appointment, and it's important to keep on track, or, excuse me, their outside life changes. Okay, so what happens is this, long story short, when she started feeling bad 3 months ago, I'm going to cut it real short, is that her job was being reviewed. The whole company were going to do a layoff and pay cut, and she's a single mom. That extra stress came in her life, and so the stress level, she had enough, up until then, enough adjustments for her stress. She was doing great, feeling great. Stress level went up, and there was a gap. There was insufficient care, not enough adjustments for stress. So when she realized that, she went, "Oh, it's not Dr. Hughes. Dr. Hughes' fault. It's my fault." When we start to do stuff like this, number one, you'll understand it. I mean, like again, I'm almost 70 now. I got more energy and stuff. It's like I've been adjusting for 35 years, strongly, at least 3 times a month for 30 some years. Why? And it keeps me healthy. I'm not a normal 70-year-old guy. And it's so important for people to understand the big idea and know why that they need to come in. So hopefully what I did now, I mean, I think this is just enough because I don't want you to overload it. So take the stress test, get the scans done. You can even show me the scans if you want. Friday, I'm doing a lecture tomorrow night, and then I'm doing scans all day in Columbus. But I'll be back. So Friday, if you want, or next week, let's go over. But if you have any questions, please let me know. But you'll feel much more secure in what you're saying and what you're doing, which is important. The certainty in the words you say is it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. Okay, and I really feel that you guys, you ladies, sorry, are phenomenal. And Doc is done very gracious to say, please help me. And so I'm helping you. I'm here for you. You got a great chiropractor, a great heart. We need to make it fun and easy and not any craziness. Remember, confusion is the enemy of execution. We don't want that. But it all starts with the heart. There you go, baby. If your heart's not in it, come on. Your heart's got to be in it. You're helping people you're changing their lives. They're feeling better. So God bless you. So on the count of three, we're going to do game face. Get your game face on. Get ready for the afternoon. Okay. So when I count three, 1, 2, 3, you go game face. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Game face.
Come on.
Come on. Come on, Nate. Come on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Game face. Oh,
Sorry.
party.
We gotta open the door.
You can still be big.
There you go. There you go. All right. Take care, guys.
I tell them things.
Bye.
Oh my God, that is